Hello and welcome to today's practice. In today's practice, we'll be focusing specifically on our hip and root area to release any stored tension. Go ahead and find a comfortable seated position. We are starting in butterfly pose. So with the soles of the feet together, allow the knees to fall open. Now you can go ahead and use any bolsters, blocks, cushions, rolled up blankets, whatever it is that you need underneath your legs for support and to help support your hips. We're going to start with a nice grounding breath. So sitting up tall, take a nice deep inhale through your nose and exhale gently out through your mouth. Deep inhale as you lengthen through your spine and slow and steady exhale out through your mouth. Inhale deeply, fill the belly with air. On your exhale, we focus specifically on the hips, allowing the hips to soften. Deep breath in as you envision your spine grounding into the floor, creating roots, allowing yourself to feel anchored in this moment. One more breath here. Gently let it go. Good. We're going to start adding some movement by just fluttering out the legs. So just a little bounce up and down with the knees. Now remember, you can either add or remove any cushions, blankets or bolsters that you need to allow this movement to happen freely. As we continue with the movement and with the breath, feel free to set an intention here for your practice, focusing on softening your hips and also dropping the shoulders down. You don't want to have any tension in your upper body. Allow it to just melt away as you breathe. And let's go ahead and relax the legs. From here, I want you to grab onto your ankles if you haven't done so already. And then place your elbows on the inside of your thighs or your knees. Pressing your chest forward, gently allow the hips to fall open even more as you pull yourself a little closer to your feet. And you want to add a little bit more tension on your legs to create a little bit more opening in the hips. Focus on your breath here. Lengthening, and as you exhale, try and allow the hips to soften a little bit. Good. Slowly release. Placing your feet on the floor, slightly wider than hip distance, as we're going to come into a figure four stretch or a seated pigeon pose. So I want you to cross your right ankle over your left knee and then attempt to press that knee away from your body. All the while, you want to have your chest lifted, shoulders drawn back. We're still breathing deeply as we press and open up that hip a little more. Let's go ahead and extend that left leg, keeping your right leg crossed over. Now holding onto your ankle and your knee for support. You can either stay here if this is a good enough stretch, or you can see to come into a little bit of a fold. So leading once again with your chest. Drop the shoulders back. Focus on your breath as you lean a little closer towards your legs. Good. Hold for a breath here. And then slowly release whenever you're ready, sitting up tall. Now we're going to go ahead and switch sides. Gently release the leg. And we're going to prep to do the same on the other side. When you're ready, figure four stretch. Left ankle over right knee this time. Go ahead and press that knee away from your body as much as you can, leading with your chest. Draw the shoulders back. Deep breath here. One more breath. And then you can go ahead and extend your right leg, keeping that left leg crossed, grabbing onto your ankle and to your knee for support, sitting up tall. On your exhale, you want to lead with your chest as you come into a little bit of a fold. Be mindful of your shoulders. Focus on lengthening your breath. Bringing all your attention to that outer hip. One more breath here. Good. Slowly release that leg. And then from here, we're going to swing the legs around and come into tabletop. We want to make sure that our knees is in line with our hips and our hands is in line with the shoulders. Fingers spread nice and wide so that you have good grip into the floor. Take a nice deep breath here as you pull the navel in towards the spine. Exhale, gently release. We're going to go ahead and take our left leg and then swing it towards the top of the mat. You can adjust the hands slightly by walking the hands a little forward. We're going to press forward, allowing the hips to drop down and come into a bit of a low lunge here. You want to have your chest lifted, shoulders drawn back. Try and create a nice long line from the top of your head to your tailbone. And we're going to focus on our breath here. Just a few more. If this is too intense for you, you can just come into a kneeling position. You can also use a blanket for that supporting knee. Let's deepen this hip opener here by pressing our left hand into the inside of that left knee, opening up the hip a little more. Deep breath here. And then moving into a twist, lifting that left hand up towards the ceiling, opening up the chest, keeping that hips nice and low. Deep breath. And exhale, beautiful. Slowly make your way back towards the mat. And then shifting your hips back, adjusting our hands and knees back into our starting position. Take a deep breath here. Pull that navel in towards the spine. And gently exhale. On your next inhale, we swing the right leg towards the top of the mat. Now remember, you can start in a kneeling position first and then adjust slowly, depending on how your hips are feeling. When you're ready, we want to press the hips forward as far down as you can, pressing your hands and that right foot into the mat for support. Chest is lifted, shoulders is drawn back, creating again a long line from the top of our head to the tailbone. Focus on the breath here. We're going to move into deepening that hip stretch a little bit by pressing on the inside of our knee and opening up that hip a little more. If this is too intense for you, just stay in that first position. When you're ready, inhale, lift that right hand up to the ceiling as we come into our twist. Chest is open, deep breath here. And we slowly make our way back towards the floor. Gently swing that leg back. And then from here, we're going to move into child's pose. So you can go ahead and adjust the knees if you need to make room for your body. Feel free to use a pillow here for support. Press the hips back into the heels. Lengthen and extend your arms. If your shoulders are a little tight, feel free to either cross your arms or extend it to the back of the room. We're going to stay here for a few breaths, allowing yourself to settle into your body and allowing the hips to soften a little more. Let's take one more deep belly breath here. And on your exhale, slowly make your way back up to a seated position. We're starting back in that seated butterfly pose, adjusting however you need to make yourself feel comfortable. Bring the soles of the feet together, either resting your hands in your lap or holding onto your ankles once again, sitting up tall. Chest is lifted, shoulders drop. We're going to take a few breaths here as we finish off our practice. We're going to continue with the same breath that we started. Deep inhalation through your nose and slow and steady exhale through the mouth. Allow your body to soften. Focus once again specifically on that hip area as we feel ourselves grounded and supported by the earth, sitting up a little taller. Allow your body to feel safe in this moment with this breath. Allow your breath to settle in a natural rhythm. Let's do one more cleansing breath. In through your nose and out through your mouth. Thank you very much for joining me today.